The Direct Selling Association is terrified right now with what's going on in Delaware and their attempt to pass a bill in regards to multi-level marketing companies. This is an email that they sent out yesterday, Saturday, June the 14th, and they're trying to encourage all these multi-level marketing pyramid schemes to mobilize and try to fight this. They're trying to get them to take action tomorrow, Monday, June 16th. So check this out. The time for swift action is here. The entire channel must join this fight by Monday, if not sooner. They actually did a spelling mistake. They put my Monday instead of by Monday. It's a classic. You can't even make this up. Delaware HB 162, an unprecedented threat to the direct selling business model, is headed to the House floor for a vote this Tuesday, June 17th. If passed, this bill would impose costly, unworkable restrictions on even the most ethical companies, setting a dangerous precedent for other states. We need you to mobilize now. The threat. While DSA succeeded in removing the most egregious threads, the bill's remaining harmful provisions would impose unprecedented disclosure mandates not seen anywhere else in the U.S., create a 3-month right of rescission for beyond the standard 3-day rule, require a 90% inventory buyback with no time limit, apply to all companies regardless of size, structure, or compliance history, fail to recognize the direct selling channel's existing effective self-regulation. This bill is not a targeted strike on, quote, bad actors, end quote. It is a blanket regulation that would punish legitimate businesses and entrepreneurs across the state. What does this all mean? I'm going to translate this for you as we go along through this email. The Direct Selling Association is a trade organization that lobbies the government on behalf of multi-level marketing pyramid schemes. They're terrified of what's going on in Delaware right now. They rightfully perceive this bill as a threat to their very existence. So they're trying to rally all these different multi-level marketing companies to take action, like they need to take immediate action. I find it interesting how they use this quotation of bad actors to try to distinguish other multi-level marketing companies and legitimate multi-level marketing companies. There's no such thing as legitimate fraud. MLM is fraud. And people have had enough of these schemes. Even in this email, the Direct Selling Association is misleading consumers by saying it's going to be hurting entrepreneurs, because they're saying that people that sign up as participants in these pyramid schemes are entrepreneurs, that they're home business owners. That's the implication by using that word entrepreneurs. And as we all know, people that sign up for multi-level marketing pyramid schemes, they're certainly not business owners. The email goes on to say immediate action required. Number 1, contact your Delaware salesforce today. Urge your Delaware-based independent distributors to send a message opposing HB 162 using our grassroots portals. It takes less than 1 minute. Take action in English, take action in Spanish. The message is automatically delivered to the sender's state representative and senator, as well as the bill sponsors, legislative leaders, the governor, and attorney general. 2, help us coordinate in-person testimony in Dover. If you have Salesforce members in Delaware who are willing to speak at the Capitol on Tuesday, we will organize their participation. The House permits 2 minutes of public comment per speaker, and most locations in Delaware are within a short drive to Dover. Please share this link with your Delaware-based distributor so that they can let the DSA know that they would like to testify and be a part of this action on Tuesday. The greater numbers, the stronger our strength will be. The voice of every Delaware-based distributor will make a difference. Now, translating this part of the email, the first part is contact your Delaware salesforce today. Most likely, multi-level marketing companies are going to be sending out a mass email campaign to their distributors in Delaware. And then they're going to be encouraging them to fill out these templates, these letters that are already made. All they have to do is fill in their name and their phone number and their address. I mean, the participants probably don't even need to read the email that's been written for them. It only takes a minute just to fill in their information and send it off. It's a totally legitimate strategy, you guys. The second part of this is in regards to in-person testimonials. And I think there's a variety of ways this could play out. The first being people that are at the top of these pyramid schemes talking about how this business literally changed their life. They'll probably recite a rags to riches story that you would hear at any convention when they're on the stage, trying to keep people from leaving the multi-level marketing company, and also used as a recruitment tool. Another scenario I could see playing out would be a participant using emotional and religious manipulation, claiming that this multi-level marketing company that they're a part of has given them so much more than extra spending money. It's given them a purpose. It's given them new friendships. They've learned new skills. They've got more confidence. They've moved out of their comfort zone. It could even go like they've found God. They've reconnected with their faith. They have cured addiction. It could go along the lines of that. One thing is true, though, is none of these people that will be giving these testimonials have done a profit and loss statement. And none of them track their income nor their expenses. And the last two sentences of the last paragraph, the greater the numbers, the stronger our strength, and the voice of every Delaware-based distributor is going to make a difference. So this just by itself is deceiving because over 99% of people must lose money. And so you're going to see people that are going to be giving these testimonials where it doesn't match up with the reality. They're going to be very effusive and very excited about their participation in one of these schemes. But in the years to come, many of these people are going to realize that they've been scammed, and they're going to regret lending credibility to these scams. Moreover, none of these people are getting paid. They think that they're fighting to keep their jobs when none of them have jobs and none of them own their own businesses. They are unpaid shills for the pyramid scheme lobby. On to the last part of the email. This is the best part. 3. What makes HB 162 so dangerous? No threshold to exclude low-cost businesses. Other jurisdictions exempt low-cost activities like direct selling, typically under $500. HB 162 does not. Unworkable disclosure requirements. The bill requires written disclosures that are costly and impractical in a digital environment. A 3-month rescission right with no precedent. This is unheard of in independent contractor law. Delaware already has a 3-day cooling off rule. Unlimited 90% buyback mandate. All DSA members already follow a 12-month standard. This bill removes any limit, creating uncertainty and risk. And then it says, let's be clear, this legislation threatens the livelihood of thousands of ethical entrepreneurs, especially women and working families, who rely on direct selling to earn supplemental income on their terms. We must act swiftly and decisively, contact your field, coordinate in-person testimony, protect the future of our channel. It's clear this bill is designed to protect consumers, but look at this paragraph in the middle here where they talk about this is going to threaten the livelihood of thousands of entrepreneurs, and then they play the women card. The women, you can't take away the livelihood of women when we know for a fact that over 99% of people must lose money in these scams. In fact, most people being defrauded and exploited by multi-level marketing companies are women. I'm surprised the Direct Selling Association is still using this line, earn supplemental income. They were smacked by the Federal Trade Commission last year in a letter, March 15th, 2024, by Lois Griesman, Associate Director of the Division of Marketing Practices. So there were 2 letters sent out last year, one to the DSA, one to the DSSRC, and I know that's a mouthful, but that stands for the Direct Selling Self-Regulatory Council. And I've linked both of these documents below so you can go and take a look at them yourself. And this is the letter that I'm going to be reading from, the second page. This is the letter to the DSSRC in regards to modest and supplemental income. Keep in mind, the Direct Selling Association has made 2 false claims in that email they've sent out to all these different multi-level marketing companies, that women are earning livelihoods and they're earning supplemental income. From this letter, how can one use earnings claims to advertise an opportunity that results in the typical participant making little to no money or losing money? Unlike the DSA claiming that all these women are having their livelihoods impacted, the typical participant is making no money and they're losing money. Oh, and it gets better. The Direct Selling Association has made statements acknowledging that at best, most MLM participants make, quote, modest or supplemental income, end quote. Where have I heard that before? When she asked Adolfo Franco, the DSA executive president and chief operating officer at DSA's September 2023 legal and regulatory seminar, he said $1,200 a year. And she said that's $100 a month or $25 a week. And that she was very skeptical that a potential participant would take away from a claim of, quote, modest or supplemental income, end quote, that they would only earn $25 per week. Let's just revisit the email that the Direct Selling Association sent out yesterday saying that this proposed legislation is going to threaten the livelihood of thousands of ethical entrepreneurs, especially women and working families, when they know and they admit that the typical participant makes little to no money and in fact loses money. and that how they describe supplemental income is $25 a week. But it gets even better, and I'm going to leave you with this. People in multi-level marketing don't track their expenses because they're conditioned to believe that these expenses don't exist, that they're called investments, and that when they hit, the top of their compensation plan and they recruit that rock star, it's all those investments, all those expenses will be wiped out because they're millionaires. When an MLM participant finally sits down and sees how much money they were spending, they've already exited. They've already realized they've been scammed. In this letter, Lois Griesman says, should expenses nullify income for many participants? Even saying a claim of $25 a week is deceptive. And she points out that DSA's own definition of what supplemental income means, $25 a week, isn't something that she's ever seen advertised by any multi-level marketing company. I mean, have you? So you have the DSA, who is speaking on behalf of all multi-level marketing companies, saying that this legislation is threatening women, when the reality is that the majority of participants in multi-level marketing schemes are women who are making little to no money, in fact, losing money. And by the DSA's own admission and definition of supplemental income, they might be earning $25 a week. Who exactly is looking out on behalf of women? The Direct Selling Association or this proposed legislation, HB 162? I mean, we already know the answer to this. There's a lot of people that are watching what's going on right now, not just within multi-level marketing, but people that are speaking out against it. And I'm here in Alberta, Canada. I've contacted a number of members of Parliament who have been contacted by the DSA Canada, and I've let them know about this bill as well. And more of us are speaking out. So from Alberta, Canada to Delaware, US, I'm rooting for you. Good luck!